Hi guys, I'm Tammy and I'm an interior designer here in Ohio. I started my YouTube channel to give you a glimpse into my life as an interior designer and to help you along the way with tips on different things like purchasing a kitchen, what you need to purchase a kitchen, how to decorate for the holidays, how to do tables and events, and different things like that. But today, we're going to talk about decorating a tree, and I'm going to give you some of my tips along the way. So, let's get started. So, my first tip for decorating your Christmas tree is going to be to get yourself organized. I like to figure out what theme or what colors I'm going to use on my tree way in advance. And then once I figure that out, I kind of go through all of my ornaments, and my husband can tell you I have thousands of ornaments. But I like to go through my ornaments and try to figure out what I'm going to go with. I'm doing a lot of sparkle. I'll show you some of my sparkle reds. I have sparkle in gold also. And then I have a lot of matte finishes. So I'm going to try to mix it up a little bit. I'm going to do a little matte, a little shiny. I have some mattes in greens and some matte in silver. And I also have these neat ornaments that I actually got from Target a couple years ago, I think. And they're all silver. I do have some that are actually clear and they have like a little silver quilting in them. They're really cool. But those I'm not going to use. So I have them in white and silver. And then I've also selected some sprays. So I have some berries. And I do have some floral just in case. I may decide to put these on the top. I may not use them at all. We'll see. And then I have these silver sparkly sprays. They get everywhere. So these would only be used on the top. I've also selected my tree skirt. I have quite a few tree skirts also. I'm going to keep it simple with this white quilted tree skirt. It'll bring in all of the colors together without fighting and competing with what I'm using. And I just bought this tree topper, which is really cool. My husband actually wanted the tree topper. I was just going to go with something else, like a Bethlehem light. He decided he liked this one better. But this one lights up and it looks really cool. So we're going to try this tree topper this year. It looks like it may be a little bit heavy for my little 6-foot tree or 6.5-foot tree. But we're going to test it out, see what happens. Also, another tip that I have, the tree that we purchased maybe a year ago from Walmart. So you want to test your tree before you even start, thinking about what decorations you're going to put on it. You want to plug it in, get everything worked out. If there are any pieces that you have to replace, or if you have to replace the whole tree, you want to find that out before you start going through all of this. Also, the tree that we purchased has clear lights, and it also has, warm clear lights, and it also has multicolor lights. So this year I'm going to go with the clear light theme, and that's how I decided what colors I'm going to go with. If you're going with multicolors, my other tip is, if you're doing multicolor, you would probably go with a solid color ornament because you don't want too much going on. So, but those are the ornaments I'm going to use. So we'll move on to the next tip and the next step because I have everything already organized. So, all right. So now we're to my next tip, which a lot of people don't do, and I've noticed on some videos that designers haven't done it. But my next tip is to actually fluff the tree. You want to make sure that your tree is fluffed so that you don't have any empty spaces. And the more full your tree looks, the easier it's going to be for you to find branches to actually put your ornaments on. So grab a ladder and make sure that you fluff your tree very well. Stand back from it after you've pulled some of the branches out, and you can kind of see if there's any empty spaces. If you do have a tree like we have, which you actually plug in to each section, you can actually turn the pieces around so you can turn the top around to fill in any spaces. If you have one of the trees that you actually lock in, you won't be able to do that, but you can move your branches around and you can bend them downward, bend some up, so that you can actually fill in the gaps. So, time to fluff the tree. So, for my next tip, it's to top and bottom your tree. What I mean by that is basically put your topper on, fill in with any sprays or anything you want to add, and then you put your tree skirt on. Normally, I put my tree skirt on last, but because I'm not wearing shoes, it's okay to go ahead and put the tree skirt on before we start doing the decorating. Normally, I have on shoes. Today, I want it to be a little comfortable. No shoes. So, let's top and bottom our tree. Okay, so now that we've topped and bottomed our tree, it's time to start decorating. But my next tip is something to think about before you start decorating. So with my ornaments, I've kind of separated them by color. Also, as far as having them separated by color, I've kind of counted them out. So I have 9 of the dark green, 9 of the lighter green, and I have 9 of the silver matte. The reason why I have that odd number is because what I like to do is, and this is my next tip, I like to divide the tree up into sections. So when I have multiples of 3, then I have the front section and the back 2 sections, so that I can have an even amount of ornaments in each section. If I have multiples of 4, then I like to divide it up into quadrants. So you have the front 2 sections, the back 2 sections. And then that way you can, kind of count everything out and make sure that they're even. There's nothing worse than to have 2 dark green ornaments right next to each other, and then you have to kind of start all over. So, let's start decorating. So there you have it. We have our decorated tree with our kind of extravagant topper. I added all the ornaments in, did them in sections, and then I just kind of added the berries in at the end to kind of make it, pop a little bit more. You can get these berries, I believe, from Michael's, and there's some other places that you can get these from. And they come in bundles, so you do have to cut them. These were cut from previous years, so that's why I was able to just kind of stick those in. And then we have our little tree skirt, just bottoming it out. It'll be covered with gifts, so it won't really matter. But I hope you like my tree. I hope you like my tips. Check back soon. I'm actually going to do another video of how to decorate your dining table for a Christmas party. So, we'll see you soon. Bye. I didn't think about what I was going to say.
Funny. That's fine.